Hi, I'm Bashar Al-Naher, and today I'm going to discuss a very important topic that can absolutely transform your life if you take it really seriously. And the topic is to do with what we want in life and how best to achieve it. Now, the vast majority of us, if you ask us what we want in life, will say something that's really significant to us. For example, I want to make more wealth. And if we keep asking ourselves, why do we want that? Why do we want that? For example, why do we want more wealth? Well, it's so that we can make ourselves more comfortable and the people that we love around us, and also to do charity for people that we don't know. And if we ask ourselves, well, why do you want that? And you keep asking that, eventually the vast majority of us will just say, well, we just want to be happy. We would just want to be contented within. And we don't want to feel any sense of that something's missing. That's the sort of a thing that the vast majority of people will want. So let's be clear here. The ultimate aim behind everything we do is to reach that inner sense of contentment, that inner sense of feeling complete, that inner sense of happiness. Anything else other than that is just a means to an end. I think we need to be really clear about that, so that we don't mistake the means to an end for the ultimate aim, which is to have that inner sense of total, inner contentment and inner completion. So how do we go about doing that? Well, the vast majority of us go about trying to achieve that ultimate aim, which, as we said, is inner happiness, inner contentment, by setting goals and aims in various aspects of life. And we have a whole list of aims and objectives in our personal life, in our professional life, and even in our spiritual life. And we say to ourselves, consciously, but most of the time unconsciously, that once we achieve those objectives and those aims, then we give ourselves permission to reach that place of contentment and that place of happiness where nothing is missing. Well, that's the way the vast majority of us go about trying to achieve that aim or objective. But I'm sorry to say that way or that method just does not work. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's definitely a route to failure, and we will not achieve our ultimate aims in this way. And the reason for that is that there are lots of things wrong with that particular way. The first of them is, the minute we achieve an aim that we've set, rather than thinking that we get ultimate inner contentment, we actually feel only temporary relief or a temporary sense of satisfaction. And soon after that, very, very little while after that, we set another aim and we try and aim for that. And so it goes on. The minute we achieve an aim, we set another aim and we go about trying to achieve that. And this process goes on and on and on and is exhausting, and we never actually feel that inner sense of completion. And even if we are, let's say, fully have a sense of full completion in one aspect, let's say our profession, then we jump onto other things like personal life. And then we say, well, no, we're not fully complete because we haven't achieved this or that in our personal lives. And so it goes on. It's a never-ending cycle. And we see this in the lives of celebrities that have managed to amass tremendous wealth and have got tremendous celebrity status and fame, and still they feel that something is missing within, and they're not there in that happy place where they deserve to be. And so they turn to things like drugs or alcohol, or even taking their own lives. So that is one of the biggest things that goes wrong with that particular method. Now, the other thing is that a lot of us, even though we aim hard to achieve a certain goal, very often we don't achieve it. So what happens then? We consider ourselves to be failures. If we're not in one field, then in another. So that's another thing that can go wrong with that particular way of trying to achieve our ultimate aim. And the third thing is, we're relying on our inner happiness or inner completeness on things going right in the outside world. And we all know how transient and how unpredictable the world can be, especially now as we see ourselves in lockdown. Our professions have come to a standstill. We've been forced to close our practices. Things on the outside are very precarious, very unstable, and can easily go wrong. And to be at the mercy of the external conditions for us to feel that inner sense of contentment, that is a recipe for disaster, actually. So what is the solution to this quandary? Is there a solution? And the answer is absolutely. There is an emphatic, absolute, unbelievably incredible solution to this quandary and to this problem. And there's two folds or two aspects to this solution. The first is to realize that nothing on the outside world, nothing that can happen, nothing that you can achieve, no amount of wealth, no amount of status, no amount of power can ever give you that sense of inner happiness or a sense of contentment. Ever, never, no matter what you achieve on the outside. If you haven't realized that yet, you soon will. I'm 58 now, and most of my life I've been following the old technique of trying to arrive at that inner sense of happiness through achieving things on the outside. And several years ago, I realized that this is not the way to do things, and this is not the way to achieve happiness. So I've realized that that definitely is not a way to achieve it. Nothing on the outside will ever give you that inner sense of happiness. And the second aspect to the solution is to realize, or maybe try and arrive at a place within where you feel that inner sense of happiness or completion without anything needing to happen on the outside. But then you may say, well, I don't feel that. I don't feel that I am complete. I don't feel that sense of inner completion. Well, what I would say is maybe it's a mind trick. Maybe, as Einstein said, we're suffering from an optical illusion in consciousness. Maybe there really is a place within where we can feel that inner sense of happiness or completion without anything needing to happen on the outside. Maybe we just haven't realized it, or we haven't become aware of it. So I'm going to have to leave you, I'm afraid, on a cliffhanger here, because you'll have to wait till next time for me to describe, or to try and for us to access that inner place of completion, because it definitely does exist, and it's there, and all we have to do is try and access it. Obviously, we haven't been used to accessing it, but there is a way of accessing that inner place of being happy and being contented, and it lies within. And there'll be other important issues that I need to discuss around that topic. For example, what happens to our level of motivation or enthusiasm in life, or being proactive, if we all of a sudden find that we are or have reached that inner sense of contentment. So these and other important topics I'll be discussing next time. And so you take care, and I'll see you next time.